Today's video, guys, we're talking about credit scoring, and we're talking specifically today about credit strategy. So everybody out there wants the highest possible credit score in the world, right? Everybody would be super happy if they touched the top of the mountain on the credit score, but not everybody, unfortunately, is in the same position to get to that level. So today's topic is about how do you get your score higher and what strategies can you use if you do have a lot of debt and you just want to chip away at getting things paid off. So Stephen, talk about some strategies today that we're going to share with our viewers, and then talk about credit scoring in general, like good score, middle score, best score, like what's up with all those things.
Yeah, man. And this is something that we're very passionate about because a loan pre-approval is based off three main things: down payment or ability to get down payment assistance, income and employment, and then credit score. But you can't, the other two don't matter if you don't have the credit score. So what I'm most worried about is a qualifying credit score. Qualifying score is what we as lenders are the most concerned about. So the qualifying score can be as low as 580 for certain customers like veterans. And then the higher the score, the lower the interest rate. But each person comes to us in a different capacity as far as their credit. But the single most impactful thing on their credit score, and the thing that we can alter the quickest to see a credit boost, is credit cards. More specifically, the balance compared to the limit of that card. So this slide right here shows you good, better, best. But if you'll notice, Brian, the good starts at 30% of the balance compared to the limit of your credit card. Then better is 20%, best is 10. So there's a lot of different theories. No one exactly knows because it's not published. But what I understand is if you're at 50% or above, you're going to get no score, no scoring improvement, even if you make your credit card payment on time. And then as you get to 75%, and especially 80, 85, 90, and then you max it out, you actually lose scoring potential because it views that you are at risk of not having the capital needed to pay your bills. So a lot of people, I don't know that they quite even realize that there is a credit utilization ratio, right? But just think of it in simpler terms as like if it's your bank account, right? The higher you get to maxing that credit card out, it shows that things might be a little bit tight or there might be some trouble ahead. That may not be the case, but that's how the credit score algorithm, which is a risk assessment, is viewing it. So we have to put strategies in place to help manage the credit card balances compared to the limit so that we can get the max scoring potential.
Yeah, and speaking of strategies, there's really four strategies that we are going to briefly talk about today, but two more specifically, then we'll touch on others. But when we talk about strategies, we've got something called the debt avalanche strategy, a debt snowball, and balance transfers and debt consolidation. But as far as like the debt avalanche, talk about that one, Steven.
Right. And so, disclaimer, I water my money tree out back every day and it just does not produce dollar bills. Right. So, like, we all understand that if we had enough, these challenges wouldn't be there. So, the reality is, we're trying to figure out first with the customer, what disposable income do you have and how much can you apply towards this strategy? Because sometimes it's a combination, but the avalanche, and again, think of an avalanche top down, right? We're going to attack the credit card with the highest balance and the highest interest payment, and then make the minimum on everything else. That's going to set you up for the long haul as far as getting rid of that debt, but we're going to make the biggest, baddest, ugliest one go away first and put the others on the back burner so that we can essentially give you more funds over time to apply to everything else. So that's what that one's about.
Okay, so then the debt snowball. Looking back at our strategies, we've got the debt snowball, and it says it's right here, great for quick wins and motivation. So what's the difference between that and the avalanche?
Right. So this is more for a customer that maybe you have a credit card for every store you've ever been in, right? And they're all minimal amounts, 30, 50, $100. But the limits on those might be, 100, 200, 300, 400. So Snowball, we're going to take the smallest ones, knock those out, and just keep gaining momentum. So what that's going to do is every time you pay off an account, emotionally, you're going to be like, man, I'm doing it. I've made a gain. I've got one out of the way, but it's also going to allow that total credit utilization ratio to start growing, right? So you're going to make the minimum payments on everything else, and focus on just attacking the smaller balances to gain momentum over time, like a snowball, rolling down a mountain.
Awesome information, Stephen. Those two strategies certainly will help a lot of people if they understand how to use those. But you also mentioned that there were two other ones, or actually, I mentioned that there were two other ones that said we were going to talk about briefly. And I wanted to come back over here and you chat about these ones really quickly.
Yeah, and these ones won't apply to everybody because they're situational, but a balance transfer and debt consolidation, right? Those are the other two. For a balance transfer to work, you got to be eligible and you got to be ready for that, right? So that can work, but that's going a step backwards to go 3 steps forward. So we want to be very intentional about that one. And then debt consolidation is based on you being a homeowner and having equity, where we can utilize that equity to help get rid of some of the balances. But again, that's the main thing I want people to understand is we have to identify where you're at in that credit ratio of, balance versus limit. If you're at 90 or above, your strategy is going to be different that somebody's at 50 just trying to get to 30. So understanding how important that is to, number one, establish, but more importantly, boost your score. That's the goal right here, is to help you get to that point.
Yeah, for sure. Hey guys, if you're getting any value out of the video, give it a like and consider subscribing to our channel. We have a whole lot of other hack videos coming and topics about a whole lot of other stuff. But if you have specific questions about your credit score and strategies and ways to boost up your credit score, reach out to Stephen. All of his contact information is right there in the description below. We thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.